Good afternoon. Do we have sound? Yes? Can you hear me? All right. Welcome everyone to this very important day in the history of Fresno and especially downtown Fresno. My name is Craig Sharton. I'm very honored to be on this stage. Whew. Don't get me going. The tears are right about there. It's a great day to respect our history and to reflect on our history. But even more importantly, I think it's a very important day to feel excited. To get excited about the future of our downtown. And over the last few weeks, as I've really reflected on this and had the opportunity to talk to a lot of young people, third graders from Kepler yesterday, and really remember that this is all about them. Making sure that the hardworking people of the Central Valley's children have a great place and a great city to grow up in. So let's be excited. And I'm really glad that you're all here and that you're going to be grounded in the transformation of our community. So without any, and other than that, the whole thing was a piece of cake. So without any further ado, I'm going to, I'll announce a couple of people that are up on the stage here that won't be speaking. I want to introduce Brent and Ron Weiner. If you've been following the media coverage of this day at all, you'll know that Ron and his father were at the bottom of this black and white photograph over here commemorating the groundbreaking 51 years ago. Almost exactly. 52. We also want to let you know that today we're launching a mobile app called the Fulton Street Art Collection, and you can look on your Apple or Android store. And as you watch the transformation of our community, you can see what's going on for Art Hop tonight. It's already working. You can go around and learn about what's happening with the art in our historic buildings. I also want to acknowledge that the Community Media Access Channel will be recording this for our posterity as well, and want to thank them for all they do for our community. We'll acknowledge some of our council members that are here. Council President Capriolio, Council Members Brandow, Olivier, Soria, Council Member Baines, and Council Member Quintero. Thank you all for being here, and thanks for your leadership and making this project a reality. And with that, I will give you our wonderful mayor who has persevered through all of this to make sure that stuff gets done in Fresno. The Mayor, Ashley Swearingen.
Wow. Today is a special day. And like most special days, we need to pause and reflect on our past. And we also need to think about our future. But we don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves. We must remember and cherish this moment. And at this moment, this incredible, historic moment, it's hard for me not to be overwhelmed by emotion. And Craig looked at me earlier, and he almost started crying, and I almost started crying, and I said, don't you go down, because I'm going down with you. You have to stay strong. So hopefully we'll both get through this. The feeling is palpable and powerful, what we're here to do today. Now just think about it for a moment. We are standing at the very same location as the groundbreaking for the installation of the Fulton Mall 52 years ago this month in March of 1964. People gathered in this very spot to break ground for the installation of the mall. And it's important to remember the groundbreaking that happened at this spot on a spring day. I imagine that it was much like this one in 1964. The people who were gathered had the same feeling of optimism that we do now, and they had a belief that they could accomplish almost anything. They took a big risk on a new idea, and they did it with confidence. They cared about their downtown every bit as much as we do today, and they invested in the best way they knew how. They hired an internationally known planner, Victor Gruen, and he hired an up-and-coming landscape architect, Garrett Ekbo. The community raised the funds needed for this incredible public art collection that we all enjoy and respect, and that remains one of the most spectacular public art collections anywhere on the West Coast. They were bold in their ideas and in their execution. But like we today, they also faced dissent, concern, and disagreement about us installing the mall in the first place. In fact, it's interesting and even a little bit ironic. As we were researching the history of the Fulton Mall and the history of Fulton Street, we discovered a full-page ad in the Fresno Bee in 1964. It was placed by a group of dozens of downtown merchants and property owners and community leaders who were begging the leaders of the time to not install the mall. They said that paving over Fulton Street would destroy their businesses and that it would hurt the entire downtown and take Fresno 40 years to recover from that decision. Well, they were right, but they were a little off by about 12 years. And after all that, after decades of controversy and unresolved debate, we're standing here again with a clear path forward thanks to the resolution of our supporters and our community leaders. After almost 40 years of debate and planning and feedback from residents and property owners and downtown Fresno stakeholders, we developed a plan for the comprehensive revitalization of the Fulton Corridor, which is Fresno's historic Main Street. Those plans came to fruition on February 27th, 2014, when it was literally an all-hands-on-deck moment for our community, and a supermajority of the Fresno City Council voted to allow street traffic to return and to again breathe life into this dormant corridor. Hundreds of supporters, just like today, were gathered wearing their orange shirts, packed in the council chambers, urging our council members to support this important project. I believe that the council's decision that day will be remembered as one of the most significant actions ever taken by the city of Fresno. Since the day the council approved the Fulton Street reconstruction project, downtown Fresno has seen another $60 million in new private investment, and another $40 million is in the pipeline. We've seen an increasing number of young professionals who have chosen to return from Fresno from around the nation simply because they're sold on our downtown and on the promise and the direction of our city. We should take a moment to imagine what it's going to be like on Fulton Street in just a few years. And you can literally look around you and envision the cafes, the entertainment venues, the lofts, the locally owned businesses filling up the scores of empty spaces. It's easy to envision people exploring the city, in many cases for the first time, and proudly showing off their downtown to visitors. But the most important thing we can do today is to stop and to think about where we are right now and how we got here. We don't have enough time in a day to go through every step in the process or all the twists and turns that this project has taken. It would literally take all afternoon to name the people who have had their hands in making this happen. They included 21 citizens and downtown stakeholders who volunteered to serve on the Fulton Corridor Specific Plan Steering Committee, multiple state and federal agencies, the Fresno City Council, the Planning and Historic Preservation Commissions, Caltrans, multiple Council of Government committees, the State Historic Preservation Office, the Office of Governor Jerry Brown, the U.S. Department of Transportation, state and federal parks departments, several city departments, and many others. In fact, I had one undersecretary of the U.S. Department of Transportation who worked closely with on this project say to me this was the most complicated transportation project she had ever been involved with in her time at the U.S. Department of Transportation. Needless to say, it has taken many, many people to get to this point. We've had other incredible support from key organizations like the Downtown Fresno Partnership, the Downtown Academy, the Fresno Chamber of Commerce, the Carpenters Union, the Building Trades. Without all of these public and private organizations coming together, we simply would not be here today. And at the risk of offending some whom I may not have time to single out, I have to recognize the extraordinary efforts of some key individuals who got us to this point, the point where the project is envisioned, it's planned, it's designed, it's environmentally cleared, it's legally cleared, it's funded, the construction contract has been awarded, and the project is breaking ground. Those people are Craig Sharton, Elliot Balch, Suzanne Haig, Sarah Nusser, Scott Stolman, and the entire SC2 team from the Obama administration. Bruce Rudd, Scott Mosier, Doug Sloan, John Fox and our legal team, Kate Borders, Gretchen Moore, Aaron Blair, Linda Cano, Congressman Jim Costa, U.S. Secretary of Transportation Anthony Fox, Ken Alex, Senior Policy Advisor to Governor Brown, the State Secretary of Transportation Brian Kelly, Malcolm Dougherty, Sherry Ellert, Kirsten Helton of Caltrans, and last, and in fact, the greatest among us all, these last two people, I want you to give a strong shout out to Randall Morrison and Wilma Schechter. When we started this journey, we knew that we had some big hurdles to clear. We had to have a good plan. We had to get 100% of the project funded. We had to win city council support. And when we started working with the city council, we had one vote to work with, and ultimately we reached a supermajority. We knew that we would have to overcome legal challenges. Just to make it more interesting, we decided to take on this project during the worst recession in our lifetime. Yet here we stand today. Even the dissenting voices have helped to shape the project, resulting in a better design and making sure that the key elements of art and landscape have remained high priorities. The single largest expense of this project budget, $5 million, is restoring and reinstalling the Fulton Street Art Collection. The large shade trees all will remain intact, and more trees will be planted. In fact, we'll have more trees on Fulton Street than we have trees on Fulton Mall. We're going to make sure that every business has access to their customers every single day during construction, and we encourage the whole community to come downtown and support these businesses during the construction process. We start this project today, as Craig so capably said, for the young people in our community. I brought my own children here today. To witness this special day. I see other kids in the audience. They and their children will be the ultimate beneficiaries. They will grow up in a city that has enough confidence to invest in itself. They will celebrate occasions here. They will bring their friends downtown to hear the latest bands or to try new restaurants. They will enjoy the same amenities that attract and retain young people to other major cities in our nation. And they will remember being here today, at this place, at this moment in history. So today we break ground for the future of our downtown and our city. In about 400 days, we'll be back here to cut a ribbon that will welcome new customers, expanded businesses, and new investment. But we will always remember this day as a turning point. Today marks Fresno's turn towards optimism, hope, and the belief that when we work together with purpose and focus, we can build the city we know future generations of Fresnans will enjoy and cherish. Thank you, and God bless the city of Fresno.
Thank you, Mayor. And our next speaker today is U.S. Representative Congressman Jim Costa. And I want to say it's really cool to live in the lofts now, and everyone likes all the new stuff happening downtown, but he was living in downtown way before it was cool. He's been here, he lives here, he's represented us well. And with that, I give you my longtime friend, Jim Costa.
Thank you, Craig. Good afternoon, Fresno! Are you excited? I'm excited. And we have reason to be excited. Mayor Swearingen, thank you. Thank you so very much for your leadership, your tireless efforts in making this day become a reality. This is not just a special day, but it is a historical day. And when the annals of the history of Fresno are written about the revitalization of downtown Fresno, your leadership will be the contributing factor, together with the City Council of Fresno, the City Council that also deserves a shout out, that works so closely with you. Let's hear it for the City Council of Fresno and Mayor Swearingen. It's been a pleasure working hand in hand with all of you to make this project a reality. But make no mistake, getting to where we are today has not been easy. It's not been easy. Revitalization of cities in America has met with mixed success because there are a lot of causes on why Fresno and many other cities across the country have been challenged with their downtown areas. But it is with the focus, the plan, the foresight that your efforts, Madam Mayor, and this City Council, in realizing that all of Fresno needs to be connected, not just north, not just south, not just east, not just west, but they need to be connected with a vibrant, revitalized downtown, and this is what we're doing. You know, Fresno is tenacious. We all know that. We all are. This grant, this $20 million Tiger grant that we got from the Department of Transportation, thanks to Secretary Fox and President Obama, did not happen the first time. It did not happen the second time, but it was the third time of persistence that we finally made it happen to secure that strong federal partnership to make this day a reality. And we never gave up. And we know how important this project is, just not to the city of Fresno, but to our entire region. When Secretary Fox celebrated the Tiger Ground announcement here 2 years ago, he remarked, and we were on the other section of the mall by the clock tower, he said, you know, Madam Mayor, he said to me, he said to all of those of us who were there, he said, today is the new beginning of your central business district. And today we break ground on that new beginning. Through the restoration of street traffic, Fulton Mall will become a successful urban area with increased pedestrian, cycling, and vernacular activities that brings people together to be downtown, to share and to join in that spirit of what we think Fresno, the best of all that Fresno has to offer. Creating a main street that has people in it, that supports a vibrant downtown, will not only bring our community closer together, joining all the community areas, but it will also stimulate sustainable economic growth and, most importantly, significant private investment, because it's the private investment that's going to make this happen, right? Now, we have a number of private and public partners that underscores the breadth of the commitment of unlocking the potential of this livable city center. Obviously, interconnectivity is a key part of that. And that interconnectivity is going to include high-speed rail. High-speed rail connects Fresno to the Valley, to the Bay Area, and ultimately to the entire state of California. And Fresno stands to benefit from the visitors exploring the agricultural breadbasket of America right here in the San Joaquin Valley. Nobody does it better. Half the nation's fruits and vegetables. You betcha. Opening the Fulton Mall will increase connectivity and off-street parking spots around the high-speed rail station, our AAA ballpark, our convention center, and all the facets that make up a vibrant downtown. A complete, seamless integration of high-speed rail, and the city of Fresno will reap rewards for small businesses that will line the streets of Fulton. No longer the Fulton Mall, but Fulton streets. I remember having family members, uncles and aunts and stuff that talked about dragging Fulton Mall. Fulton, Maine, I'm sorry, wasn't a mall. Not me, I'm too young. No. But you know, let's be, you know, let's face the facts. The success of this effort will not come overnight. It will not come next year. It will be incumbent upon the leadership and the plan that has been developed with our mayor and this city council. It will be incumbent upon the next administration, the next city council, mayors in the future, to keep this plan, to enhance this plan, and to stick to the plan for the long-term success of our community. That's what it's going to take. So I once again want to thank the City Council and thank Mayor Stringer, my friend, for your vision, for your collective vision, because it makes a difference. Boldness and leadership with a community that is united can get a lot of things done. And today, we're getting something done. So let me thank you and all of your efforts for the dedication to helping continue the next chapter in revitalizing downtown Fresno. None of this would have been possible without all of your support, all of your desire and passion. And ladies and gentlemen, I am honored to serve you in our nation's capital and to help make that $20 million of your taxpayers' dollars come back to Fresno here and help spur the economy for the people of our valley, for the people of Fresno. Congratulations. It is a special day. It is a historical day. God bless you. It's Arctic Blonde.
Fuego! So, today is also a day for you to be thankful that you did not endure all of the meetings that happened in preparation for this event. But those meetings were a lot shorter and a lot more to the point because of this leader that I'm going to introduce next. He's the kind of leader that pulled together his whole team, he constructed a vision, and he kept everyone moving toward that goal. It would not be possible for us to be here today without the support of Caltrans. So I'd like to introduce to you Malcolm Doherty, the director of the California Department of Transportation, and give him our thanks.
So how'd you like to be the person who has to follow those two speakers, the mayor and then our representative, Jim Costa? I stand before you and I want to bring congratulations. I don't know that I can say it any better than either of those two, but I do want to bring congratulations on behalf of the governor's office, the Secretary of Transportation for the state of California, as well as the Department of Transportation, Caltrans. And that congratulation is certainly for all the city staff that did most of the work and all the hard lifting, the city council, as well as the mayor for her championing and her leadership to be able to bring something like this to fruition. But I also express my appreciation and congratulations to the city, because not only am I a statewide transportation leader, but I also am a resident of Fresno, and I have been for 24 years. And I gotta tell you, I go to a lot of ribbon cuttings and groundbreakings throughout the state. And a lot of them cost a lot more money than this, but I don't know that I've been to too many at all that have more people and helicopters flying overhead. So kudos to all of you. At least they were flying overhead when the congressman was speaking. So I also want to express my appreciation, both to our federal partners, our representatives, as well as the Federal Highway Administration, and for the city, because we did participate in some of the delivery as well as the funding on this project, and the participation and the collaboration and the partnership was stellar, and I would almost go so far as to say this is the type of partnership you have to be able to deliver a project, and a project like this would not have happened without that partnership. And I thank the city and I thank their federal partners, and I also want to thank my team, Caltrans members, for their participation and their work on this project as well. Thank you. So specifically on Fulton Mall and the future Fulton Street, we've spent a lot of time over the last 5 years as a Department of Transportation for the largest state in the union talking about transportation more holistically, about complete streets and making it a good transportation system for all users, automobiles, transit users, bicyclists, and pedestrians. And I think that this project is not undoing history, but it is building on history such that we can improve it. And it's not just for transportation, it's also for the quality of life and the economic vitality of people who live and work here. So once again, congratulations to the city of Fresno and the community of Fresno. Thank you.
Next, I would like to introduce to you Mr. Vincent Mamano from the Federal Highway Administration. He is the California Division Manager, and let's thank them for the Tiger Grant that helped get this project going. Welcome him.
So you all, Malcolm said I hate to follow all these speakers. I just hate to follow all this hair. So I think I'd appreciate a "you've got a nice forehead. You've got a nice forehead" chant at the end of all this, please. Or a five-head. It could be a five-head. It's up to you. So on behalf of the Secretary of Transportation, Anthony Fox, I want to congratulate you. The Tiger Grant, the Department of Transportation brought that Tiger Grant here, but it wasn't us that brought it here. It was the team here that got it from that program. I was here, and it was actually the first time I had met the Secretary when he came here for the announcement of the Tiger Grant, and you could see the pride in his face because he's the ex-mayor. And you could just see the pride in his face when he was talking to the mayor here at Fresno about this program, about what you all are doing, about the energy that's around it, about the type of projects that they were hoping that the Tiger money would go towards. Where it's not just one group, it's a lot of groups that are coming together for it. A little over 4 years ago, there was an initiative out of the White House called the Strong Cities, Strong Communities Initiatives, and it was piloted here in Fresno. And my office had the honor of being the representative of all the modes of the Department of Transportation. Jermaine Hannon was our team player for that. He's actually in Indiana now, and I called him up to tell him this was happening, and he wanted to be here just to be a part of this because he knew what effort went into it. We call them cylinders of excellence. We don't have silos. We have cylinders of excellence. But these cylinders of excellence were broken down. There was a lot of red tape that got out of the way. One of the parts of that, one of the drives of that Strong Cities, Strong Communities initiative was getting rid of the red tape. How can the federal government help you and not get in your way all at the same time? And there was a lot of challenge that went along with it. The congressman spoke of the several times you had to go back for the Tiger Grant, but that Strong Cities, Strong Communities team worked with you on that grant. And this wasn't just DOT, it was several different agencies in the federal government worked with you on that grant to try and get that grant to look like it needed to be and be supported because it was there, the foundation was there, it just needed to be articulated. So on behalf of the Secretary of Transportation, Anthony Fox, and the President of the United States, we'd like to congratulate you on this great achievement, this great accomplishment, and we look forward to being a part of this, our initiative and the collaboration that goes on here in Fresno in the oncoming year. So congratulations. I don't hear the chant. Thank you.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of this either.
We have two more speakers. The next one is a person who has made a long-term investment in the Fulton Mall, in property and in business and in family and in a lot of support throughout this process. I'd like to introduce to you, if you don't know him already, my friend Raul de Alba.
Hello, everyone. How's everyone doing? Great? Let me tell you, it feels great to be part of history. I come from a very big family, and my family, believe me, we celebrate a preschool graduation big. This one, we're going to rent a hall. I promise you that. It feels great to be here. It's like a dream come true for us. Our family, we're here on the Fulton Mall since 1989. Before that, we worked in downtown Fresno. In 1989, we opened Jalisco Jewelers down south. And then 4 years later, my sister, she opened her travel agency next door. And then my brother, who's somewhere there, he opened Los Panchos restaurant. Another sister opened Passions Boutique. So we love downtown. We believe in Fresno, in our downtown Fresno. And let me tell you, we're excited, very optimistic, because this is going to be great. It's only getting better. It's good now. It's going to get a lot better. Opening the mall will be the beginning to a beautiful and thriving downtown. Tell me, I don't see anywhere in Fresno these beautiful buildings that we have, the art that we're going to have, that we have already, and we're going to just relocate it. All the trees that we're going to have, the stadium, where can you find a stadium, professional stadium, the convention center. We have so many assets. We have so many things that will make us very proud to be a Fresnan and be part of downtown Fresno. A great city needs to have a great downtown. And Fresno will be a city with a great downtown. This will be the place to be, not too far away. So I hope we're here in about a year and some months. We're all back here. Paramedic? We got it. Thank you. So with that, I know in the future, not too far away from now, we're going to have the downtown that we're all visioning. I want to thank, from my family, from the De Alba family, I want to thank our mayor. Thank you. I know it hasn't been easy. And Craig Sharton, Elliot, and so many people that have worked so hard for this, the Fresno Downtown Partnership, for everything they do with our ice skating rinks, all the events that they have. And this is only going to get better. So let the celebration continue. Thank you all for supporting this project and for believing in our downtown Fresno. Thank you.
Hey, I want to acknowledge one of our county supervisors who's here as well, Buddy Mendez. We love it when our city and county work together, so let's give him a lot of encouragement and thanks for being here. When you're looking for a closing argument, you can't do any better than Mick Martirosian. So the guy who's been here, literally right here, for the past few decades. He's been on point with this entire process, pushing and leading and cajoling all along the way. I'd like to introduce to you Mick Martirosian.
Thank you, Craig. I'm a little uncomfortable with the word cajoling, but I guess if that's what it is. I want to thank all of you for being here. This is my hometown. This is your hometown. Look at this picture there. There's more people here today than there was in 1964. That's about a community spirit that we have. It hasn't been lost. This is our hometown. Fresno is the future. And I want to say I was here 52 years ago with my mother, Muriel Martirosian, who's here today again. She brought me here, and this is the time to pass the torch, because it left an indelible impression with me, and I see the young people here, the parents that have taken the time from their jobs, their lives, to bring their children here. This is passing the torch, because what it did for me, it created in my mind the importance of your hometown, and we can never forget that spirit. I worked at Walter Smith's, I worked at Harry Coffey's, I worked at the Wilson Theater, I bought this building. My life has been here on the Fulton Mall. Our community leaders in 1964 were brave enough to say we needed change, and they made a bold move. They were brave. The community leaders today are just as brave. They recognize the need for the change. I want to thank the mayor for her perseverance. I want to thank the council members for their support, every one of them that's here today. It's almost as simple as this. When the family needed a new car back in '64, we bought a new car. And now in 2016, it's time that we get that new car. And that new car is going to give us access. It's going to give people a chance to see what the inner city is all about, the downtown. They don't have to even get out of their car at first. They can come and just check it out. Those of us who've lived here every day know what it's about, but now they're going to have access to drive and see how exciting things are happening here, and it's very important. We have a lot to celebrate. We often hear negative things about Fresno. Not today. We often hear negative things about downtown. Not today. Now is the time to embrace the spirit that we've created, that our leaders have created for us. Let's enjoy it. Let's enjoy every minute of it, and let the spirit grow. Thank you very much.
Now for the groundbreaking part. The talking is over. For leaders, we'll come down over here on our left. If everyone can kind of take a little bit of a step back, that'd be great. There you go. American Paving has begun its work. Thank you, everyone, for coming out. Thanks to my family. The party will begin right behind us, put on by the Fresno Downtown Academy, 1242 Fulton Street.